Prosperity. Liberty. Hi there. Democracy. Our way of life. Oh, hello. But freedom doesn't come free. No! Sweet liberty!
Bam, bam. Okay, why? It always wants to do it like initially in windowed mode and not full screen mode. So I always have to.
Bitch.
Yeah, I always have to tab down and reopen it to get it to stop.
Yeah, mine does that too.
Yeah. Okay, I'm on my ship.
I'm finishing up a mission.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just finishing up a match. I held that loose, and I'll be right on.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, while we got the time, there's something. Hold on. There's something I want to complain about, and I just want to rant about it, and I feel like you'll appreciate it, Miles, and you might, Staley, what with your Canada and all that. But so you know from last time we played together that I announced that I might have cancer.
Mm-hmm.
I might have a little bit of bone cancer, and I'm just going to go over the full process of dealing with the military, like medical system, to try to figure out whether or not I have bone cancer. So we'll start with I scheduled my initial appointment because I have like you can't really tell from looking at a distance unless you look up close, but I have like a swelling on my right index finger and a lump there that hurts. It hurts to touch it. Sometimes it hurts a fuck ton to touch it. Sometimes it just hurts a little bit to touch it. And it hurts when I bend it. And my movement's just very slightly restricted. This all started happening like at the end of last year, maybe November, maybe December. I don't remember exactly. And I was like, oh, well, it's probably nothing. I probably hurt it working out or something like that. If it doesn't go away in a little while, I'll schedule an appointment. Eventually, like last Wednesday, like the 17th or 18th, whatever that was, I decided, yeah, it still hasn't gone away, and it's starting to hurt more and get a little bit bigger. I'm going to schedule a medical appointment. So I call the Hampton Roads Appointment Center, or HRAC, as they call themselves, because as you know, the military really loves to use acronyms like words.
Whether or not they're correct, yes.
Yeah, we use acronyms as words. That's just what we do.
Right, like Molly.
Yeah, well, and technically, like radar is an acronym. They've created like Snoopy teams on ships is a backronym because they really wanted it to be an acronym. The Snoopy team on a ship is basically like anytime they have like there's something on either side of the ship or something on the in the water that they want pictures of for like intelligence purposes or whatever, they call the Snoopy team and they send a whole bunch of people up with just photo cameras to take pictures of it. And they called it the Snoopy team originally because it was like, it was Snoopy sitting on the top of his doghouse. They created a
photo cameras.
Yeah, they created a backronym that I don't remember to call it, to justify it being called Snoopy. The military loves their acronyms. That's not related to this at all. But I call on Wednesday, and I call a little bit later in the day on Wednesday, and they're like, oh, well, we don't have any 24-hour appointments, but if you call tomorrow, you might be able to get a 24-hour appointment. Because I guess when I was in, they stopped doing this when I was on my way out, but when I was in, it used to be like from 7 to 8, from like 700 to 800, they had sick call. And that was, you go into medical first thing and you will be seen that day kind of thing. So it's like, oh my God, there's something that I need to address right away. And if you couldn't schedule an appointment for it kind of thing. I guess they changed it to you just call in and you get an appointment within the next 24 hours. I guess that kind of makes sense. But also, like, if they have limited slots for those 24-hour appointments, that doesn't really serve the purpose of, like, what if I have, like, a fucking problem that needs handled right now? I don't know. But they say we don't have any 24-hour appointments. You call back tomorrow, you might be able to get one. But we do have an appointment. We do have an appointment on March 30th that you can get. Now, it was last Wednesday. It was like the 17th or 18th, whatever last Wednesday was, that I called in. The closest appointment that they can get me is over a month and a half away. I say, sure, schedule me for that just in case. I'll call tomorrow. That's what we do. We schedule the appointment for the 30th. I called again on Thursday. I explained the situation. Hey, finger pain, blah, blah, blah. They're able to get me in on Friday at 13:20. So I have an appointment on Friday at 13:20. Cool. I keep my other appointment just in case, but now I have an appointment on Friday at 13:20. Right? Easy day. I go in for the appointment. Give them my stuff. They give me the little paperwork that you have to fill out every time. That's like, do you have allergies? What's your family history? What medication are you taking? Are you going to kill yourself? Because that is on every single time you go into a military medical. I don't know if that's normal for most doctors, but for military doctors, yeah, you have to fill out a little thing that says, I've had these frequent thoughts of hurting myself and blah, 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 blah. Cool. That plays in a little bit later, just in a way that fucking annoyed me.
Right.
I fill that out. My appointment is actually on time to the point of when they called out Petty Officer Johnston, because they still sometimes refer to me as Petty Officer Johnston. I didn't react because I was like, there's no way they got to my appointment on time. So there must be another Petty Officer Johnston here. And then they're like, Zachary Johnston. I'm like, oh, that's me. So my appointment's actually on time. I go through, I do all the weigh-ins and blah, all that different stuff. I sit down. Eventually the doctor comes in. I have to re-explain everything again to the nurse. Eventually the doctor comes in, and the doctor's like, oh, good afternoon, Petty Officer Johnston. And I say to her, oh, it's not Petty Officer anymore. I'm not in the military anymore. And she looks at me. I have long hair, and my hair was not up. My hair is way out of regulation. There's nowhere in the world. I was not a SEAL, so I'm not getting away with that. Like, I wasn't Special Forces. I'm not getting away with having that fucking long hair. And she looks at me like so incredibly dumbfounded. Like, why are you here? You're not. But one, civilians are allowed in, but I think she's more dumbfounded by I'm not in the military anymore and I'm still there. And I have to explain to her, I was like, oh, ma'am, I look at her, I was like, I was medically retired. That's why I'm coming here. She's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I think you told us that last time.
Yeah, I told you that the other day. But listen, I'm fucking going through the entire process because it's pissed me the fuck off.
Yeah.
Everything about this has just made me madder and madder.
So you had the appointment Friday, you said?
Yeah, I had the appointment on Friday. I explained that I was medically discharged, blah, blah, blah. She said, oh, okay. And then she brings up the pain on the index finger. And she says, okay, so you're here because you're experiencing some pain on your index finger, and this has been going on for 2 years? And I say, no. It's been going on for a few months, or a few weeks, maybe a few months, like since the end of last year, whatever that maths out to. And she looks at the laptop that she brought in, and is just like, and then looks at me and is just kind of dumbfounded. And I was like, and she's like, so do you want medication for this? And I say, no, I'd rather figure out what's wrong with my finger before we start throwing medication at it. And she's like, oh, yeah. We can do some imaging. We can do some imaging and figure out what's wrong with it. But do you want any medication? I was like, no, again, I would rather know what we're medicating before we start medicating it. She's like, okay, yeah.
I think she was asking, do you want some painkillers? Sure.
I think that's what it was. I think it was because later she did bring up, like, well, do you want like a steroidal cream that you could put on it to help deal with the pain a little bit? But I said no to that because I was like, I'm not going to add more stuff into this so that you guys, I can deal with the pain. I don't want you guys to say any new symptoms are a side effect of the medication. I will deal with the pain so you guys don't have an excuse to not do your fucking job, kind of thing. So, and then she's like, okay, yeah. And I was like, do you want to see it? And I hold up my fingers. I'm like, this is the damaged one. It's a little bit more swollen. She's like, starts looking at it. She's like, oh yeah, that's definitely more swollen. That's definitely more swollen. And eventually we get to the point where she's like, we can order an x-ray. She says to me, okay, so I'm definitely going to order an x-ray for that. And I don't know if I want to order an ultrasound or not. I'll figure out. I'll decide later if I want to order an ultrasound or not. Which is a really weird thing to like say to your patient, that you're being indecisive about the course of treatment you're going to get them. And an ultrasound is quick, cost-effective, and non-invasive. So if you think maybe, then why the fuck not? An ultrasound is like an X-ray. You have to like at least somewhat weigh in the factor of like, are we going to expose them to radiation or not? An MRI and a CT scan, it's a whole to do. An ultrasound takes like 30 fucking seconds, and it's on an index finger, so it's not going to take that long. I don't know why they didn't do it, but okay. We get to we get to finally ordering the X-ray. Fine, whatever. She keeps trying to push me to take the steroidal like anti-inflammatory cream or whatever the fuck it is. I keep saying I don't want. She says, "Well, I'm going to put the prescription anyways. You can pick it up if you want." I'm like, okay, sure. She's like, okay, now we have to talk about the questionnaire that you filled out. I know exactly what it is. I am in I'm seeing a psychiatrist and a therapist. My therapist is dead right now. I need to get a new one. But I've been doing this for like 10 years. I know every single time I go into medical and I fill out that form honestly, because if I don't fill it out honestly, they're going to hem me up in some way, shape, or form, that I'm going to end up having to answer the question of, do I need to call an ambulance, basically. And so the moment she says that, I say, yes, I know I'm actively seeing a psychiatrist and a therapist. I've been seeing a psychiatrist and therapist for 8 years. I have no intention to harm myself. It's perfectly fine. She's like, okay, so do we need to call an ambulance? Do we need to, it's like, no, you don't need to. Okay, well, I would really like, and we really like when you see one of our therapists and one of our mental health professionals. I say, no. She's like, looks dumbfounded again. I say, I'd rather keep to my current care team because it's working for me. She's like, okay, but we would really like. I say, no. It's like, okay, but are you sure? I really recommend. I say, no. And she's arguing with me on this.
Bitch, I've already been.
Yeah.
Like, I already have my VA rating, so I don't need you to track anything else.
I don't need you to track shit. And the last time I saw a military medical person, they fucked me over. Like they screwed me a lot. So I don't want to see. I have people that I'm going to. I don't need to see your lowest paid person. I don't need to see your psychiatrist that just barely passed fucking school. I don't need that. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Grade.
Yeah. It's a military grade doctor. Yeah, they're the worst possible while still technically passing their board certifications. I go in. I finally get to the X-ray. I go to take the X-ray. The swelling and the pain is on the left side of my right index finger. They took 3 X-rays. Do you want to guess how many of those X-rays were facing the left side of my right index finger?
0.
0! 0 of them were facing the left side of my right index finger. I took one with my hand flat down. I took one with my hand slightly tilted so the right side was up and towards the X-ray machine. And I took one with all my fingers back and like basically doing an upside down finger gun with what the fuck? With the right side facing up. None of them were facing the left side. And I even pointed out to the X-ray tech, I was like, the pain and the whatnot is on the other side. She said, yes, this is just the procedure that we have to do. And I just thought, like, so you can't deviate from your procedure even if you know it's fucking stupid? Like, I didn't say that, but I thought that. And yeah, that's basically it. So I go home. By this point, it's like 2:20 when I'm leaving, 14:20. I go home, I hang out with Des for a little bit, I take her to work, I go to the gym. I'm at the gym at like 4:05 when I get a call from medical. And if you go to a doctor and you get a test or a lab or anything like that done and you get a call back within like an hour or two, it's not good. It's not a good thing generally. It's generally very bad. I get the call and the doctor is kind of like really stuttering around what she wants to say. Like, I think she thinks I'm going to freak out about this a lot more kind of thing. She's like, yeah, so we got your X-rays back. And so what it might be, and I have notes written here because like I've been obsessively researching this, obviously, like I think it'd be weird not to. She says it might be what's called a benign perosteo osteochondromatosis proliferation, also known as a Nora's lesion, or an osteochondroma or osteosarcoma. Now, those first two are bone tumors, but they're non-cancerous. They're just bone tumors that form for some fucking reason on your bone. The Nora's lesion, it's generally within people within their 20s to 30s. The osteochondroma, it's generally in younger people. The Nora's lesion are more likely to be on your hands and feet. The osteochondroma is more likely to be on your arm or your femur. So like right now, the document is saying it's favoring a Nora's lesion, but it can't rule out, and it's giving a lot of indications of osteosarcoma. Osteosarcoma is a cancerous bone tumor. Osteosarcoma is a really aggressive cancerous bone tumor and really likes to spread to other bones and to your lungs. So, obviously, I'm a little bit concerned. I've had one relative just straight up die from cancer, my grandmother, and then a lot of other relatives be severely debilitated by cancer. Like pretty much everyone in my family except for my mom and my brother has had cancer at some point. Yeah, so like I'm a little bit worried about this, and I think that's fair. I also like, admittedly, I feel weird being worried about this because they're like, to get into my psychology a little bit, I feel selfish to an extent being as concerned about this as I am, because I'm like, I don't even know if it's cancer yet. It might not be. And I'm still like kind of like freaking out a little bit. And I'm like, I don't deserve to be freaking out because I don't know if it's cancer yet. It might be. But that's just like my brain going. Okay. So we got past the day of. Now, okay? They said, the doctors said, you need to call tomorrow. I'm putting in for orthopedics, a referral for orthopedics. I'm putting in a referral to get an MRI. You need to call tomorrow to schedule this as soon as possible. I don't know how soon we can get you in, but hopefully it's as soon as possible. So really like hyping on the fact that this is important to address immediately because, you know, cancer. Cool. She says, call a little bit later in the afternoon. It might take a while for the referral to get into the system. So I call at like noon. A little bit before noon to see if I can get the MRI. When I call, they say, "Oh, we don't have the referral in yet." I'm like, okay, well, that's probably just because, like, again, they just don't have the referral in yet. So I call like 2 hours later, and they say, "Oh, we have the referral, but we can't schedule the Hampton Roads, the ATRAC, the Hampton Roads Appointment Center. They can't schedule for radiology. I have to call radiology to schedule the appointment, but radiology isn't open on the weekends. So this thing that I needed to schedule as soon as possible, I can't schedule for a few more days." So like yesterday, legitimately, like, because that was Saturday, that was 2 days ago. Yesterday, like, I legitimately just kind of shut down. Because like it was all I could think about, like in that weird kind of like back of your head kind of way, where like you're not actively thinking about it, but it's there. All I could think about. So I just kind of shut down yesterday. I do what I can to distract myself. I call this morning. I wake up super early this morning. I call radiology. They don't pick up because they're not open yet. They have a voicemail message that says radiology does not have voicemail, call back later. Cool. Fine. Whatever. Happens. I call ATRAC because I'm like, okay, well, I have to wait a little bit to call this. I might as well put in my orthopedics appointment. I call ATRAC. They say, oh, we can't schedule your orthopedics appointment. At this point, I'm like, what the fuck can you schedule? Like, you can't schedule anything but appointment with my PCM, and there's a completely different number that's more direct to my PCM that I can schedule through. What are you talking about? I call, they can't schedule orthopedics. They give me the number to orthopedics' appointment line. By the time I get through that, because there's 1,000 like hold lines and everything that I have to go through. And as you know, Miles, anytime you call in like a medical appointment, in the military, they ask you your DOD ID number, then they ask you your full name, and then they ask you your address, and then your phone number, and then your email address. All this stuff just to confirm that you are who you say you are, blah, blah, blah. And I'm having to answer this every single fucking time. And it's starting to get annoying. But I'm like, okay, enough time has passed that radiology should be open. I'm going to call radiology because that's my bigger priority right now, is finding out whether or not I have cancer, not whatever orthopedics is going to do.
Right.
Oh God, why isn't it letting me do call-ins? What the fuck? Okay. Not whatever orthopedics is going to do. So I call radiology. I get through radiology. I get to radiology. I have to answer the same set of fucking questions. After I answer those questions, they say, oh, this isn't our appointment line. You need to call our appointment line. So the number that they gave me wasn't for the appointment line. So I call the fucking appointment line. I have to answer the same fucking questions again. And that plays into this too, about why I'm so fucking angry right now. I have to answer the same fucking questions again. I say, and I finally get to them. It's like, okay, why are you calling? I say, I have a referral in for an MRI. I would like to schedule that. And they say, oh, we don't see a referral. Like, okay, cool. So, I call, they say, we don't see a referral. It would have been deferred out to, it would have been deferred out to a civilian. Because one of the things they ask me is they ask you, are you active duty or a current cancer patient at Portsmouth? And I say, no, I'm not active duty and I'm not a current cancer patient. This is to figure out if I have cancer. And they say, oh, well, we can't take people that aren't active duty or current cancer patients. Your referral would have been deferred out. It's like, okay, cool. And they say, you need to call TRICARE to figure out where it's deferred out to. Okay, cool. I go on the TRICARE website. I don't see a referral in. I call TRICARE. They don't say, and they don't have a referral because I'm like, okay, well, maybe it just hasn't been put on the website yet, but they do have it. They don't have the referral there. Fine. I call my primary care provider, the clinic, Oceana Clinic, and I say, hey, the radiology said that there's not a referral in for this. What do I do? And they're like, no, we definitely see a referral here. We see it right here. It's for Portsmouth. Okay, cool. I call radiology back. I call the radiology appointment line to explain to them, yes, I do have a referral, and it's for you guys. I get through to them. They ask me the DOD ID number. They ask me my full name. And by this point, I've had to answer this series of questions so many times that once they get my DOD number and ask me my full name, I start saying the rest of the stuff. I say, it's Zachary Johnston. This is my address. This is my phone number. This is my email address. And the lady starts going, I didn't ask for all that. I didn't ask for all that. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I've had to call 10 times today. Y'all asked the exact same questions. I just got ahead of myself. She's like, well, I didn't. I'm like, I want to scream at you so bad, but I need to figure out if I have cancer. That's the priority. So I explained, I was like, I called earlier, blah, blah, blah. You guys told me it was deferred out. I called my primary care provider and TRICARE, and they all said that that's in for you guys. And she said, yes, but I see the referral in the system, but we can't take you because you're not an active duty or current cancer patient at here. So you will have to call them and get them to refer you to a civilian. Cool. I call Oceana again. I tell them, hey, I need this referred out. And they're like, okay, we'll put a message into your doctor. And I'm like, fine. And they say it might take a few days. It might take 2 to 3 days. I say, cool. I call ATRAC again and ask them to, I call ATRAC. I don't call ATRAC. I call the orthopedic appointment line because, I need to schedule that appointment too. I call them. I get the same questions. I answer the same questions again. I say, I got a referral for this. And they say, oh, well, your referral's for a specific doctor, so you need to call that doctor's assistant because we can't schedule appointments for them. And they give me the assistant's number, a nice lady named Bree. So I call them. I get the same fucking questions again. And I explain the situation. They're like, okay, well, we can't schedule your appointment until you have your MRI scheduled because we need to schedule after the MRI so that we can see the results of the MRI. And that makes sense to me. That makes perfect sense to me. But I say, I don't know when I'm going to be able to schedule the MRI because they're kind of dicking me around with that. And she asks, how are they dicking around? I say, well, I explain the situation of since I'm not active duty. So she's like, oh, well, I can just put in the referral for you for an outside source. So she put in the referral for me. For the outside source. So now I have to wait, and she said it might take 2 to 3 days. So now I have to wait another 2 to 3 days to get the referral in for the outside source so that I can call a civilian doctor to schedule my MRI to find out if I have cancer so I can get my orthopedics appointment to find out how we're going to handle the cancer. But either way, one way or another, there is a tumor on my finger that needs to be removed. And there's a weird part of me that's like, it would almost be more convenient for it to be like fresh burgeoning cancer than for it to be the osteochondroma, because the osteochondroma has a 50% chance to just fucking come back for no reason. It like the two benign ones won't metastasize and won't kill me. They'll just be really inconvenient. But like one of them has a 50% chance of just being like, yeah, I know we surgically removed you, but hey, what's up? We're back. It's like, and if it's like, and this is just where I'm at. I'm just in a waiting game. I go from being told you need to schedule an appointment immediately because osteosarcoma is a very aggressive cancer. Like it grows fast, it spreads fast kind of thing. But it's highly treatable if you catch it quickly. If you catch it quickly, it's really just they give you chemo to fucking make the tumor smaller, and then they cut the tumor out, and then you follow up to make sure it doesn't come back kind of thing. But they're giving me such a fucking runaround on even figuring it out. I don't even know when my MRI is going to be. For all I know, I'm going to call the doctor. They're going to be like, oh yeah, our next appointment's a fucking month and a half from now. But that's where I'm at with the fucking military medical system of being like, yeah, you have cancer, schedule an appointment immediately. And I go to schedule an appointment, they're like, okay, by immediately, we meant like 45 days from now. But that's where I'm at. That's what I've been up to. That's what I spend an hour of my morning doing, is just being dicked around and told, go fuck yourself. It's also the extra little bit is that since they're having me outsource my MRI to a non-military doctor, they won't have access to the records, so I need to make sure to get them to download the MRI results onto a disk that I bring to my appointment so that they can look at them, which means they're not going to be able to look at them before I schedule that appointment. Which means I'll be going into that appointment and probably like, and that stuff takes a little bit of time to actually look at and analyze to an extent. Like you can get a quick look at it and be like, okay, this, maybe. But to actually like do the work to get the answers I want, they're gonna have to take some time. So I'm gonna have to fucking go in, hand them the disc, maybe get a cursory, this is what we're looking at, but probably be like, yeah, we need you to schedule a follow-up after we've had time to look at this. So that's where I'm at. That said, Bree was lovely. Bree was the only person today that actually fucking helped me. Bree was the only one today that actually solved a problem for me. Like, oh god, I'm so pissed off.
I don't blame you, man. That's
Yeah.
fucking retarded.
Yeah. Stupid. And then there is just like this. It's again, no matter what it is, whichever 3 ones that it is, be it the 2 benign tumors or the cancerous tumor, I'm gonna have to get surgery on the part of my body that I use more than anything else, which is my index finger. I use it if I'm working out because I'm gripping something. I use it if I'm playing games because mouse. I use it if I'm editing because mouse. I use it to poke and grab and hold things. Like it is definitively the single part of my body, aside from like my heart and my fucking eyes and blah blah blah, if you want to be a pedantic piece of shit, but the single like part of my body that's attached to skeletal muscles that I use more than anything else, and I'm gonna have to get surgery on it at least once, and if it's an osteochondroma, possibly 2 or 3 more times, because of the fact that like it just likes to come back 50% of the time. Which is fucking weird for something that's non-cancerous to just be like, yeah, we completely cut it out, but your body just decided to, so you can eat a dick. Yeah.
Request approved. Reinforcements have been launched.
I do think that my doctor was expecting me to react worse to it, like worse to the news, because like she seems so nervous telling me, and I was just like, okay, what's next? What do we do next? Like, I can't freak out. What's the point of freaking out about this right now, kind of thing? Like, what am I going to be like? Oh no, I might have cancer. Whatever shall I do? No, that's just going to fucking. That doesn't gain me anything. But then, like yesterday, when I didn't have anything to do to distract me, really, I just kind of got in my own head about it.
It happens. Do you have Prime or Select for TRICARE?
Prime.
If you get Select, you can just go to anybody you want, and it's cheaper. And then you don't have to have a PCM.
I have to look into that. I don't know why I didn't get that one then. I just kind of, when I was getting out, I just signed up how they told me.
So I didn't want to be assigned to PCM.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, you could just go to anybody you want then. And I'm like, oh, that seems ideal.
Yeah, I don't know why I wouldn't do that. I just kind of, when I was in the process of getting out, I was just kind of like doing what I was told and going and signing paperwork and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I probably just signed up for whatever was the one that they told me to sign up for.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds like... Because otherwise they're like, oh yeah, you have a PCM, and they try to sell it like, then it's a one-stop shop, and your PCM will take care of you. It's like, yeah, but if I go to anybody I want, I don't have to wait for referrals.
Yeah, I'll say this, like, I've only had a handful of times where the doctor I was seeing was actually my PCM since I've gotten out of the military. Because more often than not, it's like, I need to schedule an appointment because something happened or I'm sick or whatever. And they're like, yeah, your nearest appointment with your PCM is like 2 months out, but we can get you in with a different doctor sooner. And then, like, because it's a military treatment facility, more often than not, my PCM changes very frequently. I mean, the first, like, year that I was out of the military, they changed my PCM constantly, but that was more of a TRICARE thing where they just kept like changing it for whatever reason. But like my old PCM I actually liked. I haven't really cared for many of my PCMs too much. I actually liked my old one, but it's not my PCM anymore apparently. But I only saw him like 3 times. It was always just whatever doctor had the nearest available appointment. Because it was very much like, you could either see a doctor soon or see the doctor you saw one other time in, like, 2 months.
Yeah.
But no, just that jumping around of fucking phone calls this morning just pissed me off so fucking much. Because, like, they kept giving me the wrong number. Like, oh, call radiology. This is their number, but it's not their fucking appointment line, so it's useless to me. And having to answer that same, what's your DOD ID number? What's your first name? And then that bitch in fucking radiology appointment line, I didn't ask for that. It's like, you were going to. And the last time I called the radiology appointment line, you did. So you know you were going to. And they didn't follow up and ask me those questions, so they needed those answers. She just didn't like how fast I was giving to, and I get it. It's a little annoying. I could put myself in her position and be like, yeah, it's a little annoying. But I told you I'm calling to try to figure out if I have fucking cancer. Like, I'm a little stressed out right now. You don't need, and I think I, like, when I hung up, I made some comment about there's no need to be a smartass to someone who's trying to figure out if they have cancer or not, kind of thing. And I just clicked and hung up. But yeah, no, that was stupid.
I mean, there is no reason.
No. I wasn't being rude. I was just giving answers to questions she had not asked yet.
Yeah. I mean, because then it's like, do you try to do like the brutally honest, like upfront, calling them out for it? Or is it like I might have cancer, and then like act like sad about it to where they feel guilty? And it's like, what's more effective? I don't know. It depends on the person.
My goal today, I did not give a shit about guilt tripping anyone, or because there's a part of me that's like, I'm going to call our fucking boss. I'm like, I have other shit to do right now. My goal today was just to get appointments scheduled, which didn't fucking happen. It did not fucking happen.
I'm at extract, you guys.
Yeah, we're getting close. Never mind.
Oh, that killed me too.
Oh wait, no, that did not kill me. Okay, I thought that killed me because I saw red and went boom, but I was fine actually. I didn't take any damage. I just got knocked down. I'm gonna go.
Just forget how big the shockwave is.
I'm gonna reclaim your samples real quick if I can.
Oh yeah, have it.
Yeah, I think I got 2 of the purple samples, so
Ooh, nice.
we're
Nice.
good. My truck hasn't been running for the past couple weeks, or actually it's been longer than that because we had that snowstorm here in Austin, or the ice storm,
Mm-hmm.
and I just haven't driven like at all.
Yeah.
And my battery completely died, and I was like, "Oops!" So I was like, "How should I get this fixed?" I just called Progressive, my insurance, and they sent someone out, and he was like, "Yeah, I can try jumping it, but it's completely dead, so you'll probably just need a new battery."
That
And
damn.
he was a battery guy, so he just had one there and sold it to me. I was like, "Okay."
Fair,
He's got
yeah.
the 5-year warranty one.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, that's like what, $140?
Well, the 5-year was like $278. If I got just like the 12-month one, I mean, I could have just gotten that, but it was like almost 200.
Yeah.
Because I have a Ram 1500,
Mm.
so I had to get a larger battery, anyways.
yeah,
Which
yeah.
my battery on my truck was smaller than, like, I bought it as is.
Mhm.
And I guess they bought like the smaller tier of the 3 tiers of
Yeah.
batteries.
I mean, if you don't
That
have like,
fits on it. So.
yeah, if you don't have like a diesel engine, you should be fine.
No, it's gas, but
Yeah.
I mean, like it ran fine on that small battery. But he was like, I mean, this one's better. And then if you know that's going to happen, just disconnect your negative. I was like, yeah, I
Yeah.
probably should have just did that.
It's especially weird because you used it for your 5th wheel, which you would think that you would want more power.
No, I never towed with it.
Oh, okay.
No, but the 5th wheel, it was stationary at 2 different places. And whenever I had to have it move, I just paid for it.
Oh, okay. I thought you were like actively you were traveling with it because I was about to say, yeah.
No,
In that
no.
case, yeah, you might want like because I knew a guy that had like such a big truck, he actually had 2 batteries in it. He had 2 big ass
Right.
batteries in his fucking truck. But like he was using it to tow shit and haul shit all the time, and like camping and using it as like an extra battery source when he was camping and to charge shit and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I might end up selling it anyways, but I probably should have just got the 12-month, but whatever.
Yeah. For the little bit of extra cost, I think it's like worth it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because I don't know when I'm going to be getting rid of the truck, because I think I want to get a van and do like a modular camper in it.
Yeah.
Because I have the truck with the camper topper, so I can sleep in it. It has a twin bed in it.
Oh, yeah.
But then I'm like, it's just not as comfortable.
Or secure. That's kind of like
Yeah.
Well, do you have one of the solid camper toppers or one of the like the soft tops?
It's a solid one.
Okay.
But I mean, it's still like an older one. It's not like insulated or anything. And so I had to like get out of the truck to go around to climb into the bed of the truck, close it up.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas if I was camping in a van, I don't have to set shit up. Like it's just done.
Yeah.
And I have a tent that attaches, like it's a freestanding tent, but it works for like an SUV hatch.
Yeah.
So I have it to where I just attach to the back of the truck.
And you can like you can throw a solar generator on top of the van too to get a little bit extra power.
Yeah, because I already have one of those, and I have like 300.
Yeah.
3 100-watt solar panels, but that is so slow, and they're like the flexible, like thin ones, and so I don't have them like attached at all or mounted.
Yeah.
So when I do put them on there, it's like there's just wires everywhere, and it's not very efficient.